guys, it's me, Kelly. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to talk about all the books that I read in the month of March. Now this March I read a total of 4 books out of the 6 books placed on my TBR. I read a range of mostly romance books actually, but just different types of romance. We had some romantasy, historical fiction type romance, and just like contemporary romance as well, or spicy romance. So we just read a lot of romance this month, which is funny because you would think February I would do that, but March was just the month of romance. My lowest rated book was a 3 stars, while my highest rated book was a 5 star. So I'm super happy to hit a 5-star read this month and absolutely loving that book. So let's go over the books that I read this month. The first book I read this month was A Throne of Secrets by Kerri Maniscalco. I wanted to just get through this book since it was a bit larger than the rest of the books on my TBR. This is a romantasy. It is the second in a series. I believe it's a Princes of Sin book. I think that's what the series is called. And this story was about gluttony. I forgot. See, it's been so long since I read this. I'm literally like, what was this book about? I remember I felt like there was some pacing issues with this book and some plot issues of like, I feel like we're taking a lot of time on this plot but not this plot. Oh, I'm remembering a little bit more as I'm thinking more about this book. And overall, it was like an okay story. It definitely leaned more onto the romance than the plot that was happening in Gluttony's court, more than other things. I feel like it was just mostly like kind of like a friends with benefits type connection or relationship with each other. I don't know how to really explain it without spoiling anything, but again, it is the second in the series. I think you can read them as standalones. I'm not sure, but I rated this a 3.75. It was not my favorite from the series. I really enjoyed the first one. The first one was really fun to like read about and like go through the, I'm pretty sure it was Trials. I'm trying to remember. It's been like 2 years. So I thought it would just dive more deeper into like the dragon plot, but it didn't really. So that's why I rated it 3.75. It was fun. It was not emotionally like in depth with the characters or anything like that. So I want to continue the series, of course, because I love Kerri Maniscalco's writing, and she has her new release Throne of Nightmares, which sounds interesting, but it might take me a little bit to read as well. So that was the first book I read in the month of March. The next book I read, I actually don't currently own because I read it on a library book, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. And let me tell you right away, this was my 5-star read of the month. I absolutely, oh my goodness, it's leaving me speechless. Just kidding. I absolutely loved this book. There is something about Ali Hazelwood and her banter and her characters I just love. I straight up was like throughout the book wanting Adam's point of view, because I was like, I know he is thinking how much he loves Olive. So I absolutely loved it. I have read now a total of 3 Ali Hazelwood books, and I think I'm gonna say Love Hypothesis is probably on top, then Love on the Brain, and then Check and Mate. I want to read more Ali Hazelwood. I love her writing. I think it's so fun and fresh, and it's just like a grand time is what I was gonna say, but like a fun like little romance book. I mean, that's basically all I can say about it. But I definitely loved that it had some romance, of course. It's a little spicy, but it also had those like heartfelt moments between the characters where I'm just like, yep, 5-star feeling, love this book, would read it again, highly recommend. It's a great book. It's a fun book for sure. So that was my, I think my first, one of my first, maybe not my first 5-star, might be my second, but I don't have that many 5 stars this year so far. So this is a big deal that this book was a 5-star read, and I highly recommend. The next book I actually read it on vacation, was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read this while I was in Canada, and I didn't know what I was getting into when reading this. I had no idea. I know it's a very popular book. I had no idea what was gonna be this story about somebody and her 7 husbands, but I loved it. They had some complex characters in here, especially like semi-main character Evelyn Hugo. I feel like she's very complex in how she portrays herself and what she is to herself. And I liked the character development of like learning about her life story. Like she felt like a real person. Like, I'm pretty sure this might be like just kind of loosely about some celebrities in the like for me, Marilyn Monroe is kind of what I thought about when reading this book, but you could also think of other really well-known celebrities that kind of relate to Evelyn Hugo as well. Like, I don't know actors or actresses, I'm so sorry, but you get the idea. It had messy relationships, but like messy in the case of like, wow, this is something I actually want to read, unlike some books that have messy relationships like Magnolia Parks. Don't get me started. And plot twist at the end really caught me. And of course, because of how many husbands she has, of course you're gonna witness some heartbreak in the books. So I did rate this a 4.25. I really enjoyed it. I liked her writing. It was very clear of like where the story was going and what was going on, except for that little twist at the end. I straight up was like, ugh. But I liked it. I liked the layout of it. I liked her writing. I loved getting to know this woman's life even though she doesn't exist. I just felt connected to her. So yeah, I absolutely love this book. 4.25, and I can't wait to read more by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And the last book I read this month for March is Twisted Love by Ana Huang. This is the first book in the Twisted series, and I was going into this with like an open mind, but I don't know if I'm too old for this. Like, for me, reading this felt a little cringy at some points. It just felt very like too tropey in a case, because it's dark, or what is it called, gloomy, sunshine gloomy or whatever. Yeah, like the main girl character is like a sunshine, and the main male character is like gloomy and angry and bleh. So I felt like I'm a little too tropey. I also just sometimes got like too cringed out with our main male character, because he's like, I'm so dark and bleh, I don't deserve anyone. I don't know. It just like kind of gave me the which is funny because like I remember this book blowing up, or like the series blowing up, and how people like loved this book. Don't get me wrong, there were some nice and cute parts like towards the end. I really enjoyed some of the like things that Alex was doing for Ava, right? Her name's Ava, yes. But then there were some things where it's just like, okay, dude, get over it, or she needs to get over it. And plus, like, the plot was just like everywhere, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I felt like I was reading like a mafia romance type deal. So I don't know, maybe I was in the mood. I read so much romance, like Romantasy and other romance books, that this was just like, bleh, what is going on? This is a mess. But I rated it a 3-star. So like, you might really like this if you're into like mafia-esque feeling books. Dark romance kind of ish. I don't know if you would consider this a dark romance book. It was an interesting read, and I don't know if I want to read the next book. I do have it, so maybe I might read it. I don't know. It's about her friend. I know it's like probably her whole friend group. Right away I clocked that. I was like, oh, we have a bunch of girls. They probably are gonna dive into their love stories. So yeah, that was the last book I read this month. Now, for the 2 books that I did not get to this month, the first one was My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington, LJ Shen. I felt like since I got into Twisted Love, I didn't want to read another dark romance, and plus, this has been on my TBR for a while. I just need time and place, and I kind of low-key forgot it was on my TBR because I put it on a different shelf, because usually I put my TBR on this shelf, but I put it on this shelf and I just kind of forgot it existed. So that's kind of my bad. And I'm hoping I'm still, like, I still love this at some point. I mean, I loved My Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. So I'm hoping, I don't know. Who knows? It's been so long since I've read her book, and I don't know if I'll still love it. So I should read this. I should. But I haven't. And the other book that I did not get to, but I am currently reading, is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Malinda Lo. This is like a historical fiction, LGBTQ plus fiction romance type deal. We have our main character, Lily. She is a Chinese American, but she's growing up in the 1950s when the Red Scare paranoia was happening. So like communism was on the rise, and Chinese Americans were sent to concentration camps or deported. And so she is slowly finding out that she is not straight. She is, I don't know, I haven't gotten to if she is bisexual or she just likes girls. That's what I found out, is she likes girls. And we're getting into her story, but I'm only like 100 pages into it. So I really wanted to read it because I saw all of these awards, and I know it's like a pretty well written book considering it has all these awards. So I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm liking the story setup because it's in San Francisco and I've been there, so some of the places that they are talking about, I'm like, oh, I know where that is. Like, they talked about the Macy's in downtown San Francisco, and I was like, I've actually been there. That's kind of crazy that it was a thing in the 50s, and I was there a couple years ago, so I know what you're talking about. Plus Chinatown too, I've been to, so it's fun, it's interesting. So this is my current read right now. I did not finish it in March, but I do want to read it, so that's why I started it a little bit later. And we're gonna finish it in April. Alright, so here are the 3 books that I own that I read besides The Love Hypothesis. I overall enjoyed majority of the books that I read this month. I definitely want to expand my reading maybe in April with some other genres, not just romance. I felt like lots of romance can kind of put me in a slump, but also this time around I feel like I always slump in like March or April. Like, if I look back at my reading history, always this time for some reason I slump. So hopefully this month, April, I read a little bit more, or just like read intentionally instead of trying to reach, like, just read to get it done. I don't know what I'm saying, but March was good. That's all I can say. March was a good reading month. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's bookish content like this, lifestyle vlogs, kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. So if you like what you're seeing, you should go ahead and subscribe. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!